Team at the East Surrey Hospital to find out how COVID has changed their working lives forever.
A year ago, the pandemic took hold in our hospitals. We soon realised how many people were becoming ill. We were soon frightened by how many were dying. But despite that fear, last year thousands of NHS staff volunteered to leave their regular departments. They were redeployed to work alongside colleagues on the front line, caring for the sickest COVID patients in intensive care. Among them, 2 nurses from the surgery team at East Surrey Hospital. It was an experience that would change their lives and their careers.
It was very intense, I think just the volume of work, the number of people who were coming on a shift, I've never seen that before.
Seeing life support machines and hemofiltration machines, it was a totally different thing for me. It was a shock, definitely. I knew people, like personally, as a patient in intensive care. So it impacted me, and I said, oh my God, it could be me.
Some of the experiences we'll never be able to get rid of. Some of the things I've seen in intensive care, the people I've spoken to, I can't even forget some patients I've looked after.
Everyone copes differently. From last year up to now, I'm just happy that I kept myself well. I mean, not only for my family as well, I've got young kids, and also for my team.
As hospitals begin to return to some sort of post-COVID normality, volunteers have now begun returning to their usual roles in their departments. This ward cares for vulnerable cancer surgery patients. It's a ward completely free of COVID, and it's a ward that's not had a single positive COVID case.
Good morning, everyone. Infection safety control huddle. All those 6 patients that have come in this morning have been swabbed and are negative prior to coming in.
We are screening all patients, we're screening all staff twice weekly. You know, there's nobody else that's allowed into that pathway who could possibly have, COVID. And in many ways, we know where the COVID is in the hospital. And therefore those patients are segregated well away from any elective operating theatre pathways to ensure that patients are safe.
I had a cancer surgery about 2 weeks ago.
And how are you doing?
All clear. I was vulnerable, so I was isolating for the last year anyway. And ever since I've been here, they've been great. Everything is, spotless.
A dreadful amount of people have died of COVID already, but there's going to be a dreadful amount of people that will die because of COVID. And I would like to get over to them that is extremely safe to come into the hospital.
I presume the hospital was all set up for everything. I did my COVID test the other week. The lady actually even called me as well and talked through some questions. So I felt very reassured and happy.
COVID has changed the way hospitals function. A new normal has infection control at its heart.
Do you or any member of your household or family have confirmed diagnosis of COVID-19?
But there's also a new normal for the staff who for a year have witnessed the relentless ravages of COVID at first hand.
It's changed me professionally. It's changed the way I look at patients, at healthcare as a whole.
It wasn't a a happy experience, but obviously it has contributed a lot to what I am as a nurse and as a person as well.
Well, Mark is with me now. Mark, one of the trusts worst affected by the pandemic was Medway, and you have news